Good evening. We are continuing with our series through the Psalms, and this week we'll focus on the Psalms of Ascent. Let's listen together to Psalm 120 tonight. I call on the Lord in my distress, and he answers me. Save me, O Lord, from lying lips and from deceitful tongues. What will he do to you, and what more besides, O deceitful tongue? He will punish you with a warrior's sharp arrows and with burning coals from the broom tree. Woe to me that I dwell in Meshech, that I live among the tents of Kedar. Too long have I lived amongst those who hate peace. I am a man of peace, but when I speak, they are for war. Psalm 120, like so many of the other Psalms, reveals to us how the Lord gives people, real people, perspective within their circumstances. In this psalm, the writer is struggling with the hurt and injustice that he is suffering due to the words, specifically the lies of his enemies. When he thinks of the relationships that he is living in and the community that he is living in, then he realizes that he is in trouble. He is a captive of these people's lies. And it's out of this place of need that he prays to the Lord in verses 1 to 4. It's an honest prayer in which he acknowledges his fear and his hurt. And in the first part of the prayer, verses 1 and 2, he prays for help. He asks that the Lord will help him, and he also gives acknowledgement of the fact that it's only the Lord that can save him from his circumstances. He acknowledges that he is a victim, that he is in the power of his enemy's lies. In the second part of the prayer, the Spirit reveals to the writer of the psalm that the Lord will act against these enemies and the ways that they are lying against, the lies that they tell. It is the Lord that will strike them with the sharp arrows of the warrior. And yet, even though the writer of the psalm realizes that the Lord will give him salvation from his circumstances, we don't see in this last part of the psalm that he tries to flee away out of his circumstances. No, rather, he is changed within his circumstances. Even though they are out on the warpath, he is on the path of peace. He wants to engage them with peace talks. As believers, we today still live in this tension field of the promises that God has given us and waiting for the fulfillment of those promises. In Christ, we know that we've been freed from lies and the power of lies over us. And yet, we still live in the presence of liars and injustice. As people on this pilgrim's walk through life, we have the sure foundation, the certain hope that the Lord will continue to lead us and guide us, even when we live in the midst of injustice and experience how others lie to us. Good evening.